Hello and welcome to one and all. So in this class, we'll move on to the next unit, that is the industrial sector. So basically there are three sectors, isn't it? Primary sector, that is concerned with agriculture. The secondary sector, which is concerned with the industrial sector. And the third one is the service sector or the tertiary sector. So we have finished the agricultural sector. Now we will move on to the next sector, that is the industrial sector. Now, what is an industrial sector? So, industrial sector is related to, basically, it is the manufacturing the products, that is converting the raw materials into finished products. So, industrial sector is related to manufacturing and production of different products. So what is that manufacturing? What is that process? So it is nothing but it is that sector of the economy in which the raw materials are converted into finished products. So this is the manufacturing. So when we are saying manufacturing is happening in the industries, production is happening in the industries, it is nothing but they are converting the raw materials into finished products, either through machinery or through labor. So that is the industrial sector. Now, there is a importance of industrial sector, or what is the importance or role of industrial sector in the economic development of any country. So normally the countries which are having a strong industrial foundation, they are said to be more developed than the countries which are depending more on agricultural sectors. Or practically, if you see, most of the developed countries, we keep on saying, isn't it, they are the contribution by industries or more, the people employed in industries or more, the contribution made by the primary sector is lesser in the developed countries. Why do we keep saying that? Why do we keep associating the developed countries as the industrially strong countries? Because there are certain advantages if a country is depending on industries which is not available in case of agricultural sector. Okay, so that is, basically industrial sector is always associated with high rate of economic growth. So it is the nature of the countries which is depending on industrial sectors more than the agricultural sector. So their rate of economic growth will be rapid. Economic growth, in other words, the rise in national income will be very rapid, and they have the better standard of living, etc. So this is practically this is what we are observing. Most of the countries which are industrially oriented, they have a high rate of economic growth or development or rise in national income, and they have the better standard of living compared to the countries which are depending more on agriculture. Now, what is the reason for this? Because there are some characteristic features of the industrial sector. The first one is industrial development raises the productive capacity of the people. Now, why basically the capacity of the people will be more, the laborers, the people who are depending on industry, the people who are employed in industries, they have the better productive capacity than the people depending on agricultural sector. Because in industrial sector, mostly the educated and skilled people are employed, which is not there, which is not a requirement for depending on employed in agricultural sector. So the first and foremost thing is the people who are employed in the industries, they are supposed to be educated and they are supposed to be skilled. So if a person is educated and skilled, automatically the productive capacity of that individual is more. So that is associated with the industrial sector. Okay. Then the second reason is it enables the people to have, it enables the people to have better standard of living. Better standard of living. So they can have better standard, their lifestyle will be different. I mean, they can have, what do you say, they can afford with, they can purchase more varieties of goods and services, because industries can produce different varieties of goods and services. Okay, so people can enjoy different varieties of goods and services, and they have the better leisure since their productive capacity is high, their income earning capacity is also high, and they have the better standard of living, and they also have the better health facilities. So all these are associated with the industrial sector. And another major advantage of the industrial sector is it is, industrial sector is more dependable than agricultural sector, because industrial sector, it is not depending on monsoon for its production, isn't it? Agriculture only is depending upon the climatic conditions, which is very erratic. So industrial sector is not depending upon the changes in the climatic conditions, so it is more dependable. The country's national income is more sustainable if the country is depending on industrial sector than it depends upon agriculture. And another major advantage is it, industrial sector, it reduces the dependence on agricultural exports. It reduces the dependence on agricultural exports in order to earn the very, what do you say, in order to earn the foreign exchange requirement, to meet the foreign exchange requirements of the country, to earn the required foreign exchange. Every country is supposed to have a certain reserves of foreign exchange. See, no country is self, what do you say, this thing is a self-reliant, isn't it? So each and every country, they have to export certain commodities and they have to import certain commodities. So most of the countries, which are most of the developing countries, they are depending only on exports of agricultural commodities for their foreign exchange. So with that amount of foreign exchange, they keep on importing the industrial commodities. And we already have seen that agriculture, you cannot depend, even for the national income of the country itself, we cannot depend on agriculture, isn't it? Because of the erratic climatic conditions. And on the top of it, if you are depending on agricultural exports for foreign exchange earnings, it is very dangerous. But if you are depending on industrial exports, it is more stable than the agricultural export. So country can earn the much needed foreign exchange reserves if the country starts exporting the industrial commodities instead of the agricultural commodities. Okay, so that is another major reason. Then the next advantage is, so industrial development provides a industrial development provides a strong foundation to an economy. It is like you are when you're constructing a building, you should have a strong foundation, isn't it? So industrial sector is the one that provides, it's like a providing that strong foundation. Neither the agricultural sector nor the service sector, both of them are not, they are more, what you say, uh, it is very flexible that anything can happen for the tertiary sector. It is more affected by the business cycles, the ups and downs in businesses. And agricultural sector, you cannot continuously depend. Okay, so if the country has to have a strong foundation for its development, then the country's industrial progress should be very, very strong. So industrial sector is the one that provides the strong foundation for the economy. Okay, and the most important contribution made by the industrial sector is its contribution to defense. So industrial sector is the one that is providing to the defense needs of the arms and ammunitions. So when the enemy is coming and attacking, we cannot say that we are self-sufficient in food grains and we'll sit with our meals. We have to attack the enemy. So it's a very important reason to be depending on industries is its contribution to the defense of the country. Defense of the country against any foreign invasion. Okay, so on the whole, if you have to conclude, a country should be having a very, very strong industrial foundation, which can happen if the country is only developing different varieties of industries. It should be a mixture of large scale industries, medium scale industries, and the small scale industries. And it should also be a mixture of capital goods industries, intermediate goods industries, and the consumer goods industries. And apart from that, it can be either totally public limited public sector companies or the private sector. But it can, I mean, it is unlikely like that. So it should be a mixture of both the public sector as well as the private sector. So if the country is having the combination or mixture of these type of industries with more and more number of industries in a particular country, then it is said to be having the strong industrial foundation, and the rate of economic development, the progress of the economy, the standard of living of the country, the progress of the national income of the country will be very, very rapid. Okay, so these are some of the important roles played by the industrial sector of any country. Okay, now we'll move on to the what is the structure of Indian industry. Structure of Indian industry. So under that, it is divided into different categories. First one is structure in terms of usage. Structure in terms of usages on the base for what purpose the final products are being used, whatever the commodities that are manufactured in a particular industry, for what purpose that final products are being used. So that is the based on usage. So that is usage of final products. Okay, so under that, the first category is the basic industries. So what is the first and we keep saying that in industry, the manufacturing process is happening. That is the converting the raw materials with the help into the finished products. So in order to convert the raw materials into finished products, there is a the certain amount of machineries are required, isn't it? Without that machinery, nothing can be done. So even that machinery has to be produced. That machinery is not falling from the sky. Whatever the machinery that are required to convert the raw materials into finished products, whatever the machineries that are required to manufacture a particular commodity, those kind of machineries also have to be produced. So that is the first and foremost thing, isn't it? Without machinery, nothing can be possible. So the industry that produces that machinery, they are called as the basic industries. Okay. So these industries, they produce, so machinery, in other words, they are the capital goods. So they produce capital goods. So the capital, with only with the help of capital goods, all the other goods are produced. And even these capital goods also have to be produced. So the industries that produce the first good, that is the main capital good, those industries are called as the basic industries. So for example, all the heavy engineering goods, and machine building industries, heavy engineering industries, or the machine building, all the industries that are building the machines. So they are called as the basic industries. So to produce any commodity, we need the machinery. So any industry that is producing that machinery, they are called as the basic industries. Then the second one is the industries producing consumer goods. So the basic industry produce the machinery. So that is the usage of final product. So the final product in the basic industry is machinery. So that machinery is being used for the production of consumer goods. Okay. So the industries which are producing the consumer goods, they use the machinery that are produced by the basic industries, and they produce the consumer goods. Okay. So these industries, they produce consumer goods. So how they are producing consumer goods? With the help of the capital goods produced by the basic industry. With the help of the capital goods produced by the basic industries. Okay. So for example, cotton textile industry. The cotton textile industry, they are producing, they are manufacturing, they are converting the raw cotton into a fabric. That is industries, isn't it? So how they are converting the raw cotton into finished product in the form of fabric with the help of a basic industry that is producing the machinery. So the cotton, all those industries, consumer goods industries, the cotton textile industries, sugar industry, jute industry, paper industry. Now, these are all the final good, isn't it? Sugar is a final product. Cotton is a final product. Paper is a final product, isn't it? So that's why they're all called as the consumer. They all come under the category of consumer goods. So the industry that produce these consumer goods, because they are all directly useful for the consumers. That's why they are all called as the consumer goods. Okay. So any industry that is producing the consumer goods which are directly used by the consumers, then those industries are called as the industries producing the consumer goods. Okay. That is the second category. And then in between the producer goods and the consumer goods, we also have some intermediate goods. So that is the third category is industries producing intermediate goods. So intermediate goods are there are some goods which are neither come under the category of raw materials, and they neither come under the category of finished product. They are semi-finished, they are unfinished products. They have to be further processed. Okay. So there must be some industries that are creating that intermediary goods. So intermediary goods, with the help of intermediary goods only, the final products can be created. Okay. So the industries, these industries, they produce the intermediate goods. So in that you can so in that you can give example. For example, cement industry. Cement is an intermediary product, isn't it? Steel is an intermediary product. Buildings, bridges, so many things are being used. Steel is being used, isn't it? So steel industry, chemical industry, so many chemicals, drugs are all manufactured, medicines, isn't it? So chemical industry. So they are any industry that produce these intermediate commodities. So they are all called as the industries producing the intermediate goods. So this is based on the usage. So first usage, basic industry, the final product uses the machinery, that is capital goods. So that is used in the production of consumer goods. The second usage is the industries that produce the consumer goods, that is the cotton, sugar, paper. They all directly satisfy the consumer needs. So those goods, they come under the category of the industry that produce the consumer goods. And now these are all the cement, steel, chemical, they're all the semi-finished goods. So any industry, that's why they're all the intermediary goods. And any industries that produce these intermediate goods, they are called as the industries producing the intermediate goods. So this is the classification based on the usage of the final product from a particular industry. Okay. Then the second classification is the based on the ownership, that is structure by type of ownership. So under that we are having the first one, public sector undertakings, popularly known as the PSUs. So public sector undertakings, they are completely owned, managed and governed by the government. So they are completely, these industries, any undertaking which is coming under the category of public sector, they are owned, managed and controlled by government. So they are called as a public sector undertaking. So example, you have ONGC, BHEL, BSNL, etc. So they all come under the public sector undertakings. Everything completely operated by the government. Okay. Then the second category, opposite, you have the private sector undertakings. So which is owned, controlled and managed by the private individuals. Private sector undertakings. So they are owned, managed and controlled by private individuals or group of individuals. Private individuals or group of individuals or firms. So they are called as the private sector undertaking. So here you have the Reliance, so many examples you can give. Infosys, TCS, Wipro. So they are all the owned, managed by the private individuals. So they come under the category of private sector undertakings. And the third category, what we have is the joint sector undertakings. So joint sector undertakings, it is both by the government as well as the industries which are owned, controlled and managed by both the government as well as the private entrepreneurs. So the industries that are owned, controlled and managed by both government and private entrepreneurs. Private entrepreneurs, I mean, they must also have contributed to the share capital of the company. So that's why they can also own and manage. They are also part of the owners. So private entrepreneurs who have contributed to the capital. Okay. So in that you can give some of the examples as Maruti Udyog is a private joint sector undertaking. Maruti, BP, Bharat Petrol Chemicals Limited, BPCL. So they all come under the etc. Joint sector undertaking. So this classification based on the ownership of a particular company, ownership of a particular industry, ownership of a particular undertaking. Okay. So these are all the three categories. So first one is owned by the government. Second one is owned by the private individuals. The third joint sector is owned by both the public sector, sorry, both by the government as well as the private individuals. Okay. So that is the based on ownership. And then the third category we have is the structure by the size of capital based on what should be the investment limit of a particular company. Okay, based on that investment and plant and machinery. So there is a limit to the investment on the plant and machinery. To what extent a company is allowed to invest on plant and machinery. That is based on the size of capital. So based on that, we have the classification. First one is called as the mega industries. So the name itself says it is a very, very large industry. So here the investment on plant and machinery is more than 100 crores. So the investment limit is more than rupees 100 crores. So any industry, any firm which is having an investment in plant and machinery, it has to be more than 100 crores. So they will be categorized as the mega industries. Okay. Then the second category is the large industries. So large industries. So in these industries, the investment is, so the investment limit ranges between rupees 10 crores to rupees 100 crores. More than 100 crores, it's a mega industries. So if the investment is between 10 crores to 100 crores, then it comes under the category of large industries. Okay. Then we have the medium industries, small enterprises. Normally we say enterprises. Okay. Medium, small and micro. So this medium, small and micro, this is based on the recently in the sense that so this is the classification is based on the micro, small and medium enterprises. So the Ministry of So the Ministry of the Micro, Medium and Small Enterprises, popularly we call it as a MSME. Okay. So based on the definition given in June 2020, the COVID time. So during that period of time, the government announced the capital limit for this MS micro, medium and small industries. So based on that, the capital limit for these micro, medium and small industries are so that is right here based on MSME announced on 1st June 2020. Okay. So this capital limit for medium enterprises. So medium enterprises. So in this, there are two things. One is the capital limit, and also you have a turnover. That is the sales turnover in the sense the sales volume. Okay. So investment on plant and machinery up to rupees 50 crores. So investment up to rupees 50 crores and turnover against their what is their revenue, what is their sales volume, that is a turnover should be under rupees 250 crores, that is below 2. If their turnover is less than 250 crores and their investment is up to, their investment limit should be up to 50 crores and the turnover range should be below 250 crores, then those industries, those enterprises are called as the medium enterprises. Okay. Then after that, we are having the small enterprises. So small enterprises. So in this, investment up to rupees 10 crores and turnover up to rupees 50 crores. So they come under the category of small enterprises. And then next we have the micro enterprises. So the name itself says it is micro. That means the capital limit is very, very less. Okay. Now you can understand why it is called as the mega industries, large industries, medium, small, micro, because the capital limit keeps on decreasing. Okay. So micro enterprises. So here the investment limit is up to rupees 1 crore. So it's very, very small. And turnover up to rupees 5 crore. See, there is a reason for categorizing small industries, large industries, medium industries and all, because the more smaller, see, all these three comes under based on the MSME. The more smaller a company, more smaller an enterprise is, more concession it will get from the government. Okay. So how do you identify if you want to have any concession, loan concessions or any raw materials? There are so many facilities the government is providing to the small enterprises in the country. So the more smaller a particular enterprise is, the more concessions it is getting, assistance it is getting from the government. So if your capital limit is very small, so you will have the financial problem, isn't it? So because of that, it is categorized like this. Accordingly, the assistance will be provided by the government. And then the next category, you have the ancillary industries. See, ancillary industries are the one that provides the spare parts or tools or some of components are required to the main industry, isn't it? So the spare parts, tools are provided to the main industries. So those tools and spare parts are manufactured by the ancillary industry. And also they do the service work to the main industries. So they are all called as the ancillary industries. So that is, ancillary industries are the industries that produce the spare parts and components to the main industry. Okay. So in this investment, main industries in the sense, the large industries, the large or mega industries, they come under to those industries, they provide the spare parts and components. So the investment limit here is for this ancillary industry is up to rupees 1 crore. And the next category we are having is the tiny industry. So it is even smaller than the micro enterprise. So the tiny industry, so here the investment up to rupees 25 lakhs. 25 lakhs irrespective of the location. So it is irrespective of the location in the sense, actually this concept of tiny industry was introduced in our country in 1977. At that time, there were some limitations mentioned, requirements mentioned that where it should be established. So it should be established only with in a location where the population is minimum 1 lakh or something like that. So the population restriction was there before establishing a particular tiny industry. But now that thing is removed now. That's why it's irrespective of the location. Anywhere it can be located now. So that's why it is given irrespective of the location. So anyway, the capital limit is up to 25 lakhs. Okay. Now, then there are remaining 2 more industries are there based on the size of capital: cottage industry and the household industry. Okay, which I will explain to you in my next class. Okay. So if you find this video useful, please like, share, and please subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss any topics. Okay. So until my next class, take care. Bye-bye.